Hello, friends. Good Monday to everyone. Happy Mental Health Day. So, I'm coming live on a Monday because it's Mental Health Day. And what better way to have coffee break on a Monday afternoon here in Manila? It's to have coffee break. Yes, after lunch, we have coffee break, we have tea break, we have siesta break, we have chica break if you're at work. So, good afternoon, friends. This is Dr. Michele Alignay for Coffee Break. So, we're going to have mental health matters in our conversation for this afternoon. I don't know if you're listening live, or you may be doing the team replay version of Coffee Break either in YouTube, Facebook, or Spotify. But I hope that we can learn together. So, if you are going live, you can share this to family and friends. So, it will be a very interesting conversation because this is something very simple. I think several times na inuulit na to, napag-uusapan na to, and you hear me always talking about this in coffee break. But um, being in being in the front line, not necessarily front line, but being in the mental health education. So, for many of you who are following coffee break, as you know, I'm a psychologist. For others, they thought they said all psychologists go into clinical practice, but for me, I'm not into clinical practice. I'm doing more the proactive, the proactive. I'm on the other fence. I'm in the proactive, I'm in the education, I'm in the training, I am the group support. So, this is something that I've been doing for the past years. But, this pandemic, it highlighted the need for us to look into the family matters and mental health as an intersecting aspect of our lives. Now, diba, well, my practice in psychology, um, I'm concentrated on family, and then I realized that this pandemic, there's a lot of well-being conversations, well-being trainings, speaking engagements, and even programs that I have been conducting with corporations. The employee group, the talents that corporations have. Bakit biglang kailangan nyo nitong mga ganitong conversation? And you come to think of it, and I was reflecting, anong role ko dito? Me, in my practice as a family psychologist, why all of a sudden I'm with doing this for corporations? Isn't it the role of organization development specialist, of industrial psychologist? But tingnan natin, lahat ng nangyayari, they intersect in the psyche of the person, everything that intersects in the psyche of the person. So the stress may be coming from work, um, and coming from all the demands that the family have, and especially we are in remote work. That's exactly where I am, in the intersection of family life and workplace and well-being. So there goes coffee break. So coffee break is your conversation on family life, well-being, and of course, faith. So ngayong hapon, today is Mental Health Day, and I thought it will be very fitting to just go live and to greet everyone here, and aside from that, to check on you. So, sa mga nanonood, maraming salamat for joining me. I would like to ask you, kumusta ka? Yan. How is your mental health? Have you ever asked that question? Hindi yata normal sa ating mga Pinoy na kamustahin ang mental health ng isa't isa. Kasi madalas lang sa atin, kumusta ka? Oh, how are you today? Ganun lang yung tanungan natin. It's a very casual. And I know that the usual answer is just, I'm okay. Well, how okay is being okay to us? How okay is being okay to us? Because for all you know, we cannot measure how the person is really because of that answer. Minsan yung sagot na yan is there's more to that. It's like, para lang siyang cliche. We call it cliche, yung mabababaw na sagot sa tanong. Let's look into what is mental health. Alam ko na in 2017, napasa ang mental health law in the Philippines. And since then, we are establishing more mental health programs in the workplace, in schools, and mas lumalalim ang conversation. Kaya nung nag-pandemic, I'm not actually surprised na mas nag-snowball ang conversation. But let's look into this because I would really, um, experience-wise, mas maraming mga tao, akala nila sa mental health, it's just about the disease, the disorder, the conditions, the concern, all the clinical aspect, all the mental health problems. They just thought that it's that extreme. But let me tell you, no. I heard one speaker keep saying before na, nako, kaya tayo nagkaka mental health, kaya yung mental health na yan, problema talaga yan. No, 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 no. Let's just correct that. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng mental health challenge, nagkakaroon ng mental health concern, hindi natin problema yung mental health because everyone, the same way that we have physical health, the same way that we have emotional health, relationship health, including spiritual health, we all have mental health. So you have to take note of that. So, kaya kinukumusta ko kayo, kumusta ang mental health mo, if you can put there in the line, put there, how are you with your, how is your mental health, how are you doing in your mental health, how's your mental health, yan, tingnan natin. So the realization, I'll share with you personal realization. So after I share the definition of mental health. So let's define mental health. Doc, ano ba yung mental health na yan? So the World Health Organization is the I always define mental health based on what do you call this, what the World Health Organization described it. But before that, let me just put this here. The World Health Organization said there is no health without mental health. Can you say that with me? There is no health without mental health. Totoo yan. Um, kasi imagine, we all have mental health, we all have physical health, but even though that we are very physically healthy, we're on top of, we are in command, it's just going to be very hard. you, when our mental health fail, the whole of us almost function. We cannot even, that's that's the crucial thing. When we have mental health concern, the main signal that we have that concern is that we cannot function in the same way that we normally would. Hindi na tayo makapag-focus sa trabaho or naapektuhan na yung relasyon, naapektuhan na lahat ng aspeto ng buhay. So really, there is no health without mental health. Remember that. And I would like to take off from how it was what do you call this? It was how mental health is described by the World Health Organization. So the world, I'm just making it and then I'll flash it here. So the World Health Organization, as they said that there is no health without mental health. Let me just show you. They describe that mental health is more than just the absence of mental illness. Hindi lang ito basta may sakit. It's a state of complete physical, mental, social well-being. Ako personally, sama pa rin natin ang emotional and spiritual because that's, well, some would say mental and psychological are one, and we can respect it as that, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. So again, mental health is more than the absence of disease. It's a state of complete it's a state, it's a estado mo sa sarili, a person with complete, I'm physically well, I'm mentally well, and socially well. I can move, I can think, I can focus, and I can relate well. Diba? That sounds familiar. It's not just the absence of disease. Hindi lang yun dahil wala akong sakit, dahil okay ako. No, it's just not that. It was said that even, we also need to know that people with good mental health are actually also flourishing. So it composed a lot of things, a lot of aspects in our lives. So mental health, our mental health includes also our emotion and our physical state. So let me just, I do everything on my own. Whenever I go live stream, lahat yan ako ang I do my StreamYard, I do my post, everything. I don't have a tech. I just pay for the subscription. So Mental health, including our emotions and psychological state, and physical health affects each other. So, our physical state, our health affects our mental health. Kasi, Dok, bakit siya nakaka-apekto? Call it the hormones. Ang tawag doon, the physiology. There's such thing as our physiology that affects also our our physiology affects our psychology, yung mga tinatawag nating mga hormones and yung ating mga neurotransmitter, yung ating nervous system, lahat yan naghahalo-halo, it interplays. So people with good physical health may have good mental health. And people with have good mental health, hopefully, they also affect a good physical health. Life satisfaction and positive disposition affects our physical well-being. So, you know, kaya nga it's nice to understand mental health, not just na because ever since we are so focused on our physical health, and ngayon lang naman tayo nag-uusap about this mental health, right? Ano ba ang tingin nyo sa mental health, guys? Ano ba yung pagkakaintindi nyo sa mental health dati? Put that in the chat. Ano ba yung yan yung pagkakaintindi nyo. Dati nga hindi pinag-usapan ng mga nanay and everything itong mental health na to. So you see, we have to check. We have to check that we have to understand that mental health is actually a part of us, not distant to us. At kahit anong ginagawa natin, desisyon sa buhay, diskarte sa buhay, yung mga umiikot na circumstances sa paligid natin, yan ay parte ng buhay natin. So, we have to understand that. And come to think of it, it's a continuum. It's a continuum. So, if mental health is the absence of disease, mental disease, or mental, or it's a state of really being well, including our mental state and our psychological state. So everything affects each other. Kaya nga tayo isang tao, kaya 'di ba, pag tayo ay masakit, meron din lungkot. Itong tricky, 'di ba, whenever we're going through a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress in our lives, hindi ba pati yung ating immune system bumababa? Yun yung pag-isipan natin. Bumababa pati yung state na yan kasi parte yan, hindi natin pwedeng tanggalin ang one in the other. So the continuum of failing health is continuum of health, it's just like we're physically well. Same with being mentally well. Either we are in the state of flourishing. So when you say continuum, isang pahaba, dito sa dulo, we are, just okay in the middle. It was said that we're in the middle, the other one is flourishing, this side is actually languishing, parang wala lang, and the other end, it's actually we likely have mental health disorder. So nandun ka sa dulo, so you have failing mental health. Uh, I want to use the term failing, and the other one I want to use flourishing. When we say flourish, talagang it's despite stress, despite difficulties in life, you can manage, you can do well. You're successful in your career, you're doing well with your family, kahit na nahihirapan, and you can manage difficulties. That's flourishing. Nasaan tayo dito, friends? Where are you in your continuum? Are you in the failing side? Are you in the flourishing side, or are you in the middle lang ako, Doc, languishing ako, pero yung languishing is nagpapadala ka lang sa agos. And when that happens, hindi natin talaga fully inaalagaan. Para lang tayong ticking time bomb, eventually bibigay din. So you have to check yourself. And mental health is a multi-dimensional aspect. It's affected by family patterns and how we grew up in our family. It's affected by the conditioning of our family. It's affected also by trauma, childhood experiences or past experiences. And eto ang tricky, friends. Alam nyo ba na apektado rin ang mental health ng ating sleep, ng tulog natin? Because when we sleep, diyan nagre-recalibrate yung body, the hormones are actually working, and also yung cells natin diyan nagre-regenerate, kaya critical. Kaya may mga tao, lalo silang hindi makatulog because of overthinking and because of anxiety or because of depression, likely, the more na nagsasuffer yung mental health. But actually, it becomes a chicken and egg thing. because when in their state of depression or they're in that state that the severe like in a clinical condition, they don't want to move, they cannot sleep. But sleep, diet, good exercise, and other activities are actually ways for us to affect our actually ways for us to improve our mental health. And it's also the way that we take care of our mental health by having healthy lifestyle and healthy patterns for those. Sa tingin niyo, friends, with everything that I'm saying, napakahirap pag-usapan ng mental health conversations. Naniniwala ako na mahirap pag-usapan ang mental health conversation, lalo na sa pamilya na hindi naman din open. Kahapon, yesterday, I was in my community, the Feast PICC, in PICC. So I had a book launch there for the Feast people of PICC. Hello to everyone who might just be there. And I was doing the book signing. And you know what I noticed in the book signing? Many of those who are lining up for book signing and buying the book, my new book, You Can Care for You, they are mostly young ones. I asked them about 26, 27 onwards. Na-realize ko kasi mas open tayo sa mga terms na self-care, well-being, and mas open tayo sa mental health conversation. Sa mga ganyan ng edad na nakikinig dito, tell me if you agree. Because for the people in my age, the ones in our 40s or maybe late 30s, hindi naman natin to narinig sa magulang natin. These are not the things that are not normal for us while we were growing up. These are the things that it was very hard for us to actually discuss with our family. And even now, it's a struggle for many to talk about their feelings, to talk about their state. It's actually a struggle for many of us. Kaya, hindi ako nagtaka na mas maraming younger ones yung bumibili kasi sila na yung mas aware that they are calling for these conversations to be normalized, these things to actually take place. So my realizations, these are my realizations, that can be very helpful. My realization is that we have to learn first as a culture, as a family, as individuals. I don't know your work. I don't know kung nasan ka, but in any place that you are in and you are listening here to Coffee Break, I would like you to be the beacon of light. Yes, you have to be the light for mental health conversations to be normal. So pag nangungumusta ka ng tao, kumustahin mo, o kumusta ka, kumustang mental health mo, anong mga nangyayari sa'yo, how are you coping with all the challenges. So that's actually normalizing conversations on mental health and opening the conversations about it. And the act of listening, really listening to them would actually help. Because many times, the we have to stop the culture from our end. Hindi natin kontrolado yung mga ayaw makinig. Hindi na natin kontrolado yung mga older ones na they don't want to learn about this. But for us who are actually aware, are you still with me, friends? For us who are actually aware and in the middle of this generation, we have to normalize mental health conversation. Because, you're doing yourself a favor. Because if you start conversing with people about mental health, kumusta ka? That mere kumusta ka, these people will be comfortable with us. Maybe it's your office mates, teammates mo, people under you, and if you are a teacher, maybe normalize talking about the mental health state of your students. So here, uh, hi Joey, you're saying, in my late 30s, sa barkada namin, hirap din siya pag-usapan. Yes. So, alam mo, sa barkada, hindi mo kailangan kausap lahat kasi pag malaki yung barkada mo, or meron ka talagang people that you are comfortable to speak with, these topics with. So, it may not be your barkada, but it can be also, close friends. Ako, honestly, there are just a few close people that I keep. And it's really good na makahanap ka ng mga tao na sasabihin nga natin sa Tagalog, na paghihingahan mo ng mga dinadamdam mo, ng mga dala-dala mo. Hindi ako pro in our 30s, we choose the people that we really would like to share this with. Hindi sa lahat. So, pero kung ikaw ay adult na nakakaintindi, ikaw na yung mag-reach out ng mga gusto sa iba. For all you know, Joey, even if you are having a hard time talking to your barkada about this, pag ikaw naman ang nangamusta and you're setting the tone of vulnerability, you're setting the tone of openness, and you're starting this kind of conversation the way that we're having it, then if you might just be you just might be surprised on how they're going to respond to you. You just might be surprised na, ay, ang dami rin pala niyang dala. Ay, hindi lang pala ko yung nahihirapan because that's what we need to have. So, normalizing conversation of mental health is you, us, being a safe space. We need to be the safe space for people in our immediate surrounding, with our kids, with our family, especially if our kids are teenagers like mine, with our spouses, with our team members if you're working, and with the people that we work with, yung mga taong nakakaintindi sa'yo, i-normalize natin to. Tayo yung magkumusta sa kanila sa mga ganitong bagay. And alam mo kung sino yung kapalagayan mo ng loob. I think that you would agree with me na it may not be all, but you can select a few na tatakbuhan mo. Another is that, so my realization is that first we need to be the one who set the tone for mental health conversations. Ayan, tinan mo yung aking friend na si Mia. Set the tone of vulnerability and openness. Be the safe space for your family and friends. Totoo yan. Yan na yung i-highlight natin. Next is, we need, as adults ha, adults tayong lahat, we need to be more emotionally aware. Remember, we grew up in the generation that we don't talk about our feelings. That is why the effect of that, it's very hard to talk about mental health conversations. Like for example, I heard of a friend sharing with me, yung bang minsan teenagers would come to their parents and say that I'm depressed, or I'm going through a lot of anxiety. At sabihin ng parents, nako, arte mo lang yan. Masyado ka lang nagbababasa. Wala namang ganyan. So, imagine a conversation like that in the home. Imagine this teenager who is more emotionally aware than the parents, and the parents putting judgment instead of understanding with the teenager. That's such a moral obligation. And what if the mental health is not just, an unpleasant feeling for the teenager or for the young ones? What if she's already at the deep end? What if they're going through depression already? Kaya emotional awareness is that sa atin din magsisimula yung emotional maturity. Kaya I have to say this to parents like you, kung kayo nakikinig at parents kayo, na imagine niyo kung tayo yung magiging safe space ng pamilya natin, ng mga anak natin, ng kaibigan natin. Oo nga, burden natin sila, pero tayo rin yung makakabless sa kanila eh. Because it's I think it's an invitation for us to be more emotionally aware. Tayo mismo, we do a self-check. Can you say with me, self-check? Chine-check din natin yung sarili natin. So in the process of journeying with other people, we have to journey with ourselves. Yun yung napaka-critical. If all of us, you guys are listening, and we're going to have real self awareness, especially emotional attunement, we're aware of what we're feeling, we're going to be honest with ourselves, with what we really feel, how are we going to say it, how are we going to manage it. It's going to be a very safe space for every one of us. We can actually just share what we need. It's easy for us to share what we want. It's going to be it's going to be amazing. Kasi kaya nating makinig sa nararamdaman ng iba. Kahit na hindi nila sinasabi, kaya nating rumamdam kasi kaya din nating pakinggan yung sarili natin. So you cannot expect people to be automatically emotionally attuned. It's really a process. It's the development of emotional quotient, the development of emotional awareness. Uh, So, tayo mismo yung kailangan kung we would like to react with something that maybe your family or your friends is saying na so we have to check, ay, gusto kong sabihin na ganito, pero saan galing to? Saan galing yun? Saan galing tong nararamdaman na to? So, it's good for us to check na, ay, is it fear? Is it inggit? Is it insecurity? So, maganda. I know I'm reacting, but why am I reacting right now? So, it's a very good self-check. And emotional awareness, ano ba talaga yung nararamdaman ko? Natatakot ba ako? Naiinis ba ako? Nagagalit ba ako? So, it may not be because of another person, but it's a reflection of how we are also. Okay. And lastly, I think many of us run into mental health issues because of we would like to control things that are beyond our control. Alam nyo, here in Coffee Break, mayat maya ko yan sinasabi. We are trying to many people go through overthinking, many people go through a lot of anxiety. It's because of they're trying to control things that are beyond them. Gusto natin perfect yung circumstances, gusto natin maayos yung mga anak natin pagtanda, gusto naman natin talaga lahat, gusto natin kontrolado natin pati yung mga reaction ng ibang tao. But in all honesty, we are so in control of too many things. So one of the key to mental health is that we have to give room for ourselves to embrace the unknown. So, that's my realization. Remember, hindi normal sa atin na we're talking about it. And then emotions, when we start talking about emotions, it's fluid. Hindi natin yan maikakahon, hindi yan 1 + 1 = 2, hindi yan ganyan. It's really a lot of wisdom and analysis, introspection nga, hindi lang basta analysis ang kinakailangan. And because of that, we also are invited in having for us to be able to one of my realizations in about mental health matters is that we have to learn to embrace the unknown, na may mga bagay na hindi natin kontrolado. We have to give room for errors, we have to embrace the unknown, we have to make room for mistakes. Ayan, meron 'di ba, in statistics, meron percentage of error na kailangan mong i-quantify. Hindi naman ako kagalingan sa statistics 'no, basta alam ko lang may ganyan. Um, Whenever I would make soaps, meron tinatawag na I make cold process soaps. So meron tinatawag na technique, kailangan namin mag super fat. So kung mali yung calculations namin with the sodium hydroxide, hindi magda-dry up yung soap kasi nilagyan namin ng room for error. Nilagyan namin ng additional buffer. And that's exactly what I need to tell you. We have to embrace the unknown, make room for errors, and make room for mistakes. Kailangan nating yakapin na unknowns and mistakes and errors are part of life. They are already packaged. Sabi nga nila, shit happens. Yung bang, oh shit moments, excuse me for the term, but that's how lutong it may be. Okay, kontrolado mo. Ang gusto mong maayos lahat, planado mo na lahat, and then something happens that is beyond your control, and then we crumble. That is why if we are a rigid person, if we would like to be too much in control about everything, the problem with that is the problem with being too much in control is that when we are no longer in control, we fret, we overthink, we panic, we get anxious with mistakes, uncertainties, unknowns. Pag nangyari na yung mga hindi inaasahan, na hindi natin na-calculate, nararattle tayo. Because we don't know how to move on the givens. Because we already calculated everything. Naayos mo na lahat, kalkulado mo na lahat, alam ko yung mangyayari A, B, C, but minsan, di ba, wala dun sa options or wala dun sa inisip natin yung mangyayari. So what do? You have to make the most of what's happening. Because that's how it is. We have to learn to take life as is what it is. Can you say that with me? Take life for as take life as is what it is. Ayan yan. No ifs, no buts, no condition. What is here in the present moment is what is here at the present moment. Get it? Get it? It's complicated. But come to think of it, I realized that many would just like to control life. People in particular, and everything. Pero hindi naman kaya, hindi naman pwede. So, um, we have to realize, so, hindi natin makikita yan sa lahat. I just have an insight now. Sometimes we have to recognize our limitlessness. Kasi hindi naman tayo Diyos. Minsan, we have to learn to embrace the unknown and allow God, Lord, ito na lang sa'yo. Kasi hindi ko kayang isipin. Hindi ko saklaw, pero ikaw alam mo. Hindi ba? Because we cannot do anything. Sometimes we want to be God. We want to be in control. Pero totoo yung algebra eh. Maraming X, maraming Y, maraming hindi given. So, dun sa hindi given sa buhay, it's my personal take. Ngayon ko lang to na-realize. Yung mga, di ba, the algebraic expression, X and then may given, ang ilagay mo dun sa X saka sa Y is, na hindi natin mahanap hanggang ngayon. Lagay na lang natin si Lord, lagay na lang natin ang Diyos doon para siya yung gagalaw. Alam nyo, and when we admit that, when we put the Lord in that algebraic expression, everything becomes limitless. And my key here is that we need to put the Lord in the discussion of mental health because do you know that whatever religion that we have, recognizing a God and being grounded on our spiritual truths and being grounded and acknowledging that there is something bigger than me in control out there. I want to do my life, but there is someone there that who's more in control of me. Um, Recognizing that, that gives us a bigger connection to someone bigger than us. So when we take life as it is, it's just not being complacent about life. When we take life as it is, we are actually when we take life as it is, it's like telling the Lord na, Lord, mas malaki ka sa akin. Hindi ko po to saklaw. There's too much unknown that I know you are there already. Hindi ba? Andyan ka na eh. Ako nga hindi ko pa naiintindihan pero ikaw alam mo na yan. So, sometimes we have to learn to take life for what it is because ganun eh. And we learn in the process. We learn in the process. Wag natin pagplanuhan ng sobra-sobra to the point that we become consumed with the details of the future we forgot to live today. That's a strong thing. We have to learn to live right now. We have to learn to live today. We have to put, and mental health is, many people failed in this because, well, maybe they did not have, they lose control over a lot of things. Maybe they have a very different circumstances. But now that I'm talking to you, let's just embrace the unknown and make room for mistake and also make room for faith and make room for the Lord into our lives. So those are my realizations. And my last realization is that um, um, this is the program that I did with a corporate organization. Yung program na ginawa namin, I think 2021, is that you, you, what do you call it? I think it's not, well, my book is called You Can Care for You, but that program is that you, I think it's something like you care for you or you're, you take charge of your well-being. But the main message is that you are in control. You are responsible for yourself. You are responsible for your mental health. Never, never, never blame other people for any problem that they might have caused a lot of problems in their lives, but it's still up to us. Marami tayong problema, marami tayong mga nangyari, tayong naapektuhan ng ibang tao. But yung pag-aalaga sa sarili natin, it's actually still our responsibility. Kaya it's very important to be it's very our it's very important for us to be very proactive about our mental state, about our mental health. Kailangan tayo yung mismo yung gumagawa ng paraan. Like I said earlier, sleep, good diet, exercise, or movement, play, play like kids, hobbies, creative pursuits. These things, these are the things and these are the ways that can actually help us in our daily lives. Okay, so let's go to how can we take care of our mental health. So so my point here is that you can care for you. Yeah, that's my book. You can care for you. The Soul and Science of Self-Care, available at Feast Books. Pero sa totoo lang, really, our mental health, tayo lang yung responsibilidad doon. Responsibilidad nating alagaan. Kasi maraming mangyayari sa buhay, marami pa. Kahit ayaw natin, minsan talaga may hanash. Minsan may hindi tayo gusto and it might just happen. And we don't want to be caught like failing. We don't want to be caught na parang, ay shucks, bumabaksak na pala ako, hindi ko alam. Nasa huli ang pagsisisi. So what are the small steps that we can flourish on our mental health? Have a regular healthy routine. So tamang tulog, tamang panahon sa trabaho, regular routine will actually gives give our body clock that sense that um the sense of regularity, the sense of responsibility. So we have to have regular healthy routine. The next is we have to learn to eat to nourish. You don't eat because you're bored. We eat to nourish our bodies and our minds. Tandaan nyo, you're just not eating because you want to eat. You're eating both for your physical health and your mental health. And then, the third is remove any excess. Any excess, laging sinasabi, is not healthy. Excessive cigarette, excessive alcohol, excessive shopping, excessive Netflix, excessive luxury, everything excess, we become consumed by it. Doon na pupunta lahat ng energy natin. And for all you know, we forgot even excessive workout or excessive diet to the point that it's becoming who you are already. It's not excessive work. And I just would like to be productive, pero hindi na nagiging okay. So, anything excess, including social media, yes. Everything excess, it's not good. Okay, and of course, connect and communicate with the right people. I think we've mentioned that earlier, that when we want to really have healthy mental health, kausapin natin yung mga taong may sense. So ito, thank you sa pakikinig. Sana may sense ako, friends, dito sa coffee break kasi nandito pa rin tayo after more than 2 years. So, I hope that this coffee break is helping you. So you choose the right people whom you listen. Hindi lahat ng TikTok videos or ng reels dyan sa phone mo, dyan sa laptop mo, papanoorin mo. You have to choose the right people that you're going to seek out. You're going to choose the right people na papakinggan mo. And friends, pati mga kaibigan mo, you will realize as you grow older, ito yung mga hacks ng midlife, na may mga bagay na parang ayaw mo nang patulan lahat. May mga bagay na parang, ay nako, ito na naman, ayoko na yan, I'm older, I know better. Kahapon, I was with a very good friend, and sabi niya, di ba parang ayaw na natin yung lahat kasama? Totoo yun. Kasi hindi naman lahat nakakatulong. Yung iba, curious lang sa buhay mo, marites lang, pero hindi naman talaga sila concerned. So, doon tayo sa taong may totoong concern sa atin. Okay? And lastly, another is play. As I said, play. Friends, hanggang ngayon, sana nakahanap kayo ng hobbies. Hindi hobby with a U, but hobby with an O. Hobbies na nakakatulong sa'yo to play, hobbies na nakakatulong sa'yo, to make you feel good about yourself, to make you feel better pag nasistress ka, ito na lang muna gagawin ko so that your mental state can be better. And lastly, say no when needed. Hindi lahat inoohan. Saying no is very necessary, especially if this no will compromise my mental well-being. I mean, saying yes to this will compromise my mental health. Saying no to this person will actually compromise me. Piliin mo kung ano yung makakabuti para sa'yo. Hindi dahil selfish ka, dahil mas marami ka pang gustong ibigay sa iba. I have to say no to some work. Like, for example, bakit hindi ka nagko-consultation or hindi ka nagka-counseling? Yan yung mga tanong ng iba. Kasi po, paubos na yung oras ko. If I say yes to this kind of work, even though I know I can, it will remove precious time away from rest, from my hobbies, and also from my family. So, kailangan kong tanggalin yung ibang aspeto para I can be more to the other areas of my life that are more important also. So, hindi kahit na kaya mo, hindi tayo dapat maging very, very strong at mag-strong-strongan lagi. Pag hindi mo kaya, kaya hindi dahil gusto mong patunayan. Anong gusto mong patunayan sa buhay? Check mo nga yung sarili mo. Pero oo ka nga, pero you're gonna suffer naman in the end and your mental health will be compromised. Ang tanong na lang dyan, will this be worth it? Will this person, be able to uplift the best in me? So that's a good question. So, ano ang mga realizations nyo? What are your own realizations about mental health? Lagay nyo naman sa chat at babasahin ko ang inyong mga comments while we wrap this up. Okay, so, uh, I am just checking on the comment. Ayan, so si Joey. Hi, agreed doctor, in my late 30s, sa barkada, mahirap pag-usapan. Yeah, it's hard to talk about mental health. Set the tone of vulnerability and openness, Mia. Nakita ko yung comment mo. Yes, I feel you. Hugs, my dear. And then si Nori, my son, open up to me. I just let him cry and make him feel that I am there. Yes, we need to make the other people feel that we're just listening. Embrace the unknown, make room for errors, and then, you're so funny, Shen. This is my situation. Got mad knowing some stuff are out of stuff. Yes, hindi mo siya kontrolado, ngumiti ka na lang. Sayang ang wrinkles, okay? Sayang ang skincare. So yes, take life for what it is. Take life what it is as it is. Okay. Nori, I'm responsible for my mental health. Glory be. Wow, what a name. I lift up to the only man in my life to the Lord because I know his struggle and pain without telling him and letting him know that I all the sacrifices, may other family siya the whole time and I'm working abroad. Mental health. So where should I start? Start with yourself. Alagaan mo na yung sarili mo and increase your faith. Look for a supportive community. If you're familiar with the feast, you look for a supportive community that can pray with you in this journey. So excessive social media. Joe, you're so cute. Ang sarap niyo papakinggan. Thank you. As we get older, Mia, we have few true friends. And we love that. I love that. Okay. Happy Mental Health Day. It's okay to say no. Yes, it's okay to say no. It's very important. And lastly, be my family safe space. Don't ignore my daughter when she starts to talk about it. Mental health as important. So it's just not about with your daughter. You check yourself also. So as I end this live stream, this podcast, I would like to ask you friends, kumusta ka ngayon? Huwag niyo akong sabihan ng okay, I'm well, I'm good. Kung kaya niyong sabihin, lagay niyo dyan. Lagay niyo dyan. I feel blank today. My mental health is blank today. No judgment. I'm just going to read through later. Lagay niyo dyan para ma-declare niyo sa sarili niyo that you are responsible for your mental health. Malungkot with a smile. Thank you, Vivian, for being honest. Alam niyo, friends, today is Mental Health Day. That's why I did coffee break today. Kasi ang challenge ko sa inyo, check niyo yung sarili niyo. Check yourself. Check how do I need to take care of myself today. Oh, tinan nyo, malungkot, anxious, languishing. I'm trying my best to figure out why. Huwag kang magpakahirap to figure out why. Kasi minsan hindi dumadating automatically ang sagot sa buhay. Remember, embrace the unknown. So, friends, pag may mga ganyan, wala naman tayong burnout. Wala naman tayong magagawa minsan sa sitwasyon, pero tulungan mo yung sarili mo. I feel sad due to recovery from operation. I'm in sick leave. I hope you get well. I'm not okay, but I'm responsible to take care of my mental health. Depressed. I feel anxious. I lack sleep for the past 2 days. Malungkot, having anxiety beyond things I can control. Trusting in the midst of challenges. Friends, that's why I really did my book, You Can Care for You. The Soul and Science of Self-Care. para dyan sa mga bagay na ganyan. Hindi ako nag-hard sell, pero promise, that book of You Can Care for You, The Soul and Science of Self-Care, do you know that it's like a hug from a very good friend? That book can actually help you through despite the difficulty that you are encountering. And if you would like to get a copy of it, you may get it at feastbooks.ph. It might be, I'm not sure ha, at Feastbooks and Lazada. At saka sa mga nagka-follow up sa akin, hindi po ako yung empleyado ng Feastbooks. There's another team in my publication, in our publication. Hindi ako yung publisher who's doing the dispatching of it. So I'm not in control of that. It's just that they are my publishers. So I hope that you support your mental health by doing something for you. And I promise you, the book will just like me giving you a retreat where side by side and I am talking to you through that book and let's journeying together in your life. So magandang how can I order the book? As I said earlier, you go to feastbooks.ph or in Feastbooks at Lazada or Shopee kasi isa yung bagay na kailangan mong matutunan. Paano alagaan ang sarili mo kahit na hindi mo gusto ang mga nangyayari. There are so many unknowns. You are in the middle of a burden. You had a blunder. You have a mistake. Nobody would listen to you. You have so much emotional baggages, friends. You can care for you and you take care of your mental health. So that's it. I hope that this conversation has blessed you. I hope that this book. Oh, thank you, Joey. I love the book. I love the book too. Hindi ako magbibiro. It's just like my whole mind, my heart, and my soul poured into that book. So I hope that this conversation has helped you. Take care of your mental health. Nobody will. You can care for your friends. So when you take care of your mental health, you take care of the people you love as well. God bless everyone. See you again here at Coffee Break with Dr. Michele.